Hi, this is Christina DiMaselli for GEG New England. I want to piggyback off of one of the last videos that I did that was all about DocAppender, which is an app for Google Forms, and we were using it for feedback for formative assessment, but the setup of it can be a little bit tedious. So let's recap just a little bit. The way that DocAppender works is you have a user, in this example it will be a teacher, and they use a Google form to maybe collect some information or get some prompts for feedback. And one of the questions, the answers correspond directly to the names of documents that live in one folder. So here, when the teacher is filling out their feedback form and they select the name Bugs Bunny is actually the name of the form, of the document. And DocAppender will take anything that was submitted through that form and append it, add it to the end of that document. And that creates kind of that running record of whatever was submitted under their name. So this is all great. It's fantastic. However, it's fairly tedious to set up because for every student, I need to have a template that has now been put into their name. So let's see if we can do this a little bit easier. We'll start with Google Classroom. So the reason that I want to start with Google Classroom is because it has a roster of all my students. So even if I had, say, 4 classes and 4 different Google Classrooms, I can pull the rosters out of each one of those. And where you start to do that is here on the Classwork tab, and I'm going to select an assignment. You can select any assignment, doesn't matter what it is, because once you view it, you get an icon, this gear icon up in the top right, that gives you the option to download all grades as CSV file. When I do that, I can now bring it into a Google Sheet. I've done that here. I have cleaned it up a little bit because really all I want is last name, first name, and email address. The email addresses are here. They're in white text, so you don't see them, but I can, and the system can use them. So what I want to do now is for every student here on this list, I want to create a document with their name as the title of it that lives in a folder. So I need a template. You'll notice that this template here has last name and first name kind of in these double caret brackets. Last name and first name come directly from the title of the columns here. So last name, that's going to get pulled right into here from Autocrat. So let's see how Autocrat would work. So Autocrat is an add-on for Google Sheets. And if I open it up, I already have a job that I had started to create so that you could take a look at it. So it'll show me the name of the job, and then we'll go into it and take a look at it. So of course, we have to give it a second to load. And if I could sing, I'd sing to you now, but I can't. So I'm going to do the edit here just so that we can see what it looks like and what Autocrat is going to be doing. So Autocrat is going to take this template, and remember this template is the one that I just showed you, and I'm mapping these different columns of data into it. The file name, now again, this is what is going to show up on that question on the Google form. So I want last name and first name, and it's going to pull those and make this document for me. And the Google type is, or the type of it is a Google Doc. This is my destination folder. I have over here, you can see this is my destination folder here. That's where I want all of them to live, so I'm throwing it into there. Let's see, we're going to go to next, and don't need that. I do want to share the doc. So I am grabbing that email address. So each kid will get permission to access that document, and that makes it easier. I'm not running it on any form triggers. So that's all done. Let's go ahead and run the job, and you'll see that it's going to start now populating some and doing some extra columns over here. And what it's doing is it's making those documents. And it's then going to email each of these students to say, you have this document that has been shared with you. So it's putting all this information here into these columns, E, F, G, and H, a whole bunch of stuff going on there. So let's go into this folder while that's working. And you can see we're starting to get, there they are. And if I look at this, so I'm just highlighting it and I'm clicking P for preview so I can look into it. There it is. So you can start to see the last name, first name is starting to change, and there we go. And the document name is Smith Stephen. Perfect. So now I've got a setup that really didn't take me that long to do, and I have all of this folder full of the documents that are named for the kid. Now all I have to do is bring those names into the form. So let's find a form. So I have the student name here. Let's go up to the puzzle piece for the add-ons, and I'm going to DocAppender. And yes, I have a ton of stuff I play with there. I don't even know if all that stuff works anymore. Open the sidebar. Okay, so what I need to do is to tell DocAppender that for this question called student, I want it to take the names of the documents from a particular folder. So this is the target doc folder. I need to pick it from Drive because I've already set it up. And I'm going to select the one where those documents were just created. And again, this would be a lovely time to do a singing interlude for you. And what is that one called? DocAppender Prep Docs. That's the one, right? Yes. So we're going to select that one. And it has those 3 in there. So it has selected the folder. Next. Which question do I want? It takes a second to kind of populate these a little bit, and you just have to be a little bit patient. It's kind of no, not that one. Oh, I think that's because it says short answer. It has to be a multiple choice question. Refresh the list. See, it's good when you see me mess up at the same time. There it is, student. I can also include all of the above option, which is really cool. So as a teacher, you could include that one, and anything you submitted on that form gets pushed out to all of the ones on that list. I don't need to do that for this one. I'm going to save and populate, and you'll see, look, see how now we've got answers. Do next. What do I want to be added? So in this case, we'll use the example of the students. Now we're going to use this. I'm going to do a timestamp. I am going to select username. So my form has been set up to collect email addresses, which means I get a username. The reason I do that on the student side is that way Joey Marshmallow can't be throwing, remarks and things into Annie's document without us knowing what's happening. So we'll do student project. We'll select all of them. Why not? And down here again is, if you remember from that first video, these are different ways that the information can look once it hits that document. Okay. So we should be good to go. So let's see if we can do this. We'll preview this and we'll do one of them, and hopefully this will work. And you can, all right, so let's do student sample 2. Come on. It's taking a second. Sorry, this is taking a second to load here. Your setup of this might be quicker than this video. That is something really cool. Did you love how they do that? Okay, student sample 2, your progress, lots of it, important information, nope. And I'm slightly confident. Submit. So not only do you have, as the teacher, the regular responses that you get here, or in the spreadsheet that you've made that will collect from here, but student sample 2 now has, they should have extra information here. And I appreciate you hanging with me and being patient as this thing just rolls through and loads and loads. But student sample 2 here now should have the example of all of the data that was submitted. And there it is. So go ahead and try that out. Again, you're going to start with Google Classroom because you want that roster. Export that roster into a spreadsheet. Clean it up, make it look the way that you want it to. Then you're going to do the the Autocrat setup, which is just you're making a template, you're dumping everything into a folder. And then from there in your Google form, you can set up DocAppender. So just step by step, walk through it, and you can put something together that's really useful for formative assessment, for feedback, and for collecting data. Have fun exploring.